Welcome to the G.O.A.T Sports Podcast, a weekly sports podcast for kids by kids, where it's all sports all the time. I'm your host, Saket. Here are the top sports news from around the world. Starting in the NBA, the 2026 Western Conference Finals brought together two of the most exciting young rosters in basketball for a highly anticipated showdown. The Oklahoma City Thunder entered the series as the top seed in the West, having dominated the regular season behind a deep, disciplined lineup. Led by MVP candidate Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, OKC looked ready to reclaim their spot at the top of the league. On the other side stood the San Antonio Spurs, a dangerous underdog backed by the towering presence of the alien, Victor Wembanyama, and the speed of newly acquired star guard De'Aaron Fox. The Spurs had spent the playoffs defying expectations. It was the perfect clash of styles, setting the stage for a physical, dramatic, and unforgiving 7-game series. The series kicked off in Oklahoma City, where the Thunder expected to protect their home court, but the Spurs had other plans. In Game 1, San Antonio's offense caught absolute fire on the road, stunning the top seed in a high-scoring 122-115 victory. De'Aaron Fox pushed the pace beautifully, forcing OKC to play on their heels from the opening whistle. Oklahoma City did not panic, showing the poise of true championship contenders in Game 2. The Thunder adjusted their defensive scheme, crowding the paint to make life difficult for Wembanyama. Thanks to a balanced, strong scoring attack and a tighter perimeter defense, OKC secured a 122-113 bounce-back win to tie the series before heading to Texas. When the series shifted to Frostbank Center in San Antonio, the hostile crowd looked ready to lift the Spurs, but the Thunder struck first. In Game 3, the Oklahoma City Thunder put on a masterclass in ball movement and efficient shooting. They picked the Spurs' defense apart on enemy territory, silencing the building with a dominant 123-108 victory. Facing a must-win situation in Game 4 to avoid a dangerous 3-1 deficit, the young Spurs responded with incredible defensive grit. San Antonio completely locked down the paint and contested every single shot, holding the high-powered Thunder to a dismal scoring night. The Spurs cruised to a 103-82 blowout win, knotting the series at 2-2. With the series reduced to a best-of-3, the intensity amplified, but the actual games became completely one-sided as both teams rode massive waves of momentum. Back in front of their home crowd for Game 5, the Thunder looked unstoppable. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren spearheaded an offense that routed San Antonio 127-114, putting OKC just one win away from the finals. Facing elimination in Game 6 back in Texas, the Spurs played with their backs against the wall and delivered a basketball masterpiece. They completely overwhelmed the Thunder from the very first whistle, steamrolling to an emphatic 118-91 victory. Wembanyama anchored the paint while Julian Champagnie and Devin Vassell hit clutch shots, forcing a decisive Game 7. With the series reduced to a best-of-3, the intensity amplified, but the actual games became completely one-sided as both teams rode massive waves of momentum. Back in front of their home crowd for Game 5, the Thunder looked unstoppable. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren spearheaded an offense that routed San Antonio 127-114, putting OKC just one win away from the finals. Facing elimination in Game 6 back in Texas, the Spurs played with their backs against the wall and delivered a basketball masterpiece. They completely overwhelmed the Thunder from the very first whistle, steamrolling to an emphatic 118-91 victory. Wembanyama anchored the paint while Julian Champagnie and Devin Vassell hit clutch shots, forcing a decisive Game 7. The series returned to Oklahoma City for a winner-take-all Game 7. The Paycom Center was deafening as the top-seeded Thunder looked to protect their home floor, but the resilient San Antonio Spurs refused to back down. Both teams traded heavy blows in the first half, with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander carrying the offensive load for OKC. However, the Thunder suffered a major blow when Jalen Williams went down with a hamstring injury. San Antonio capitalized on the opportunity in the second half. Anchored by Victor Wembanyama, the French phenom altered countless shots at the rim, finishing with 22 points and 5 blocks. On the perimeter, Julian Champagnie proved a massive spark, knocking down clutch three-pointers to fuel a definitive fourth-quarter run. In the final minutes, a spectacular chase-down block by Luke Cornett silenced the home crowd, securing a 111-103 victory for the Spurs to complete the massive upset. Meanwhile, the New York Knicks steamrolled their way through the Eastern Conference. Led by Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges, New York paired elite perimeter defense with relentless offense. After defeating the 76ers, the Knicks completely dominated the Cleveland Cavaliers in Eastern Conference Finals, pulling off a ruthless 4-game sweep capped off by a 130-93 blowout in Game 4. Riding a 10-game playoff winning streak, the well-rested Knicks advanced to face San Antonio. Game 1 of the NBA Finals kicked off at Frost Bank Center in San Antonio. Despite their long layoff, the Knicks showed no sign of rust, deploying a physical defense that disrupted De'Aaron Fox and forced early turnovers. Whenever the Spurs made a run behind Wembanyama's rim protection, Brunson answered with steady playmaking and clutch mid-range buckets. New York dominated the glass and controlled the tempo down the stretch, securing a 105-95 road victory to steal home court advantage. In NHL news, the 2026 Western Conference Finals brought together two of the most explosive rosters in hockey for a highly anticipated postseason showdown. The Vegas Golden Knights entered the series relying on a deeply physical lineup and unmatched playoff experience, led by the clutch playmaking of Thomas Hertl. On the other side stood the Colorado Avalanche, an offensive juggernaut playing with a terrifying level of speed and confidence. It was the perfect clash of style and willpower, setting the stage for a brutal, high-octane battle on the ice where neither side was willing to give an inch. The teams traded heavy blows over the first 6 games, with each side protecting their home ice and delivering massive blowout performances to form a definitive winner-take-all Game 7 in Colorado. The entire Western Conference season culminated in that final epic showdown, where Thomas Hertl delivered a legacy performance to anchor the Vegas offense. A historic game-saving desperation stop by the Golden Knights goaltender in the dying minutes of the third period completely broke Colorado's spirit, allowing Vegas to hold on for a breathtaking road victory and punch their ticket to the Stanley Cup Final. Meanwhile, the Carolina Hurricanes had absolutely blitzed their way through the Eastern Conference, earning invaluable days of rest while Vegas exhausted themselves. When Game 1 of the final puck dropped at the Lenovo Center, the fresh Hurricanes surged ahead behind 2 lightning-fast goals from Nikolai Ehlers. However, the battle-tested Golden Knights refused to fold, riding a 3-assist night from defenseman Brayden McNabb, before Thomas Hertl scored a thrilling clutch go-ahead goal late in the third to steal a 5-4 victory and a 1-0 series lead. And that's our show. Thank you for listening to the G.O.A.T Sports Podcast. Expect a new episode weekly in your favorite podcast app, and please do not forget to subscribe. Do leave your comments or ratings for our show. If you would like your team to be featured in our weekly shoutouts or any other comments, please reach us on Instagram at the G.O.A.T Sports Podcast. See you next